Yo, what's up? It's Z-Dog MD, Dr. Zubin. I'm a UCSF trained and Stanford educated doctor, and this is Tom Heineberg.
I went to 7 years of college and I never passed.
Together, we are going to answer questions of the medical variety. Tom, hit me with some questions that you and your friends have been asking.
Okay, CBD seems to cure all the things. Why is that?
Because the placebo is strong, Tom Heineberg. If you will it in your mind, it will cure anything you want. There's really not a lot of evidence that CBD does anything, and actually the trials, which are limited, there should be more studies, don't show ish.
All right, well that's obviously, who paid you? Ooh, I have a question, for real. Okay, why can't they do penis enlargements? Because they can do boobs pretty good.
Listen, this is a personal question for me.
A mission.
A mission,
it's a
yeah.
mission.
You know, I'm not a urologist, but I'll say this. There's a limit to the tensile sort of, ductileness of penile spongiform tissue. It has limits to how far you just can't do it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like violates the laws of physics.
It's like the Matrix, like you can bend the rules, but you can't break the rules.
There is no penis.
I have a real question.
Yes.
Earlier today, before we did this, I ate a bunch of candy bars, and now my ears feel full. Why would I eat a bunch of sugar to my ears feel full?
Eustachian tube dysfunction, which is the little tube that drains the ears into the back of your throat, they allow for equalization of air pressure. Like when you're in a plane, you feel like popping. Now, when you eat a Snickers and a Butterfinger, and you wash it down with a fake diet drink.
That's what I did.
That fools your body into thinking there's sugar. You're swarming your body with insulin.
But now I'm drinking a smart water to let people know I'm better than them.
And that's what's going to take it to the next level. And your eustachian tubes, they just do absolutely nothing different. So I have no fucking idea why you have that. I'm just keeping it real.
This is my lived experience. You're supposed to listen to me, okay? Fucking.
You know what?
This is why people don't trust doctors. Because you're supposed to listen to me. Okay, question time. Why can you not just take antibiotics just all the fucking time for everything? Aren't they dope and don't they work?
So antibiotics, and people are like, oh man, I only have things that are natural in my body. I can't have antibiotics. Penicillin came from a mold, all right? So these actually were discovered naturally, and they work very specifically by targeting bacterial defenses in different ways. The problem is these bacteria are wily. They reproduce really fast, which means even a tiny mutation in a huge population of bacteria could now confer a little bit of advantage in terms of getting rid of an antibiotic, pumping it out of the bacterial cell, keeping it from coming in, breaking it down when it arrives. And then that one little homie bacteria, that one little oppositional defiant guy, now can reproduce 1 billion times over, and now you have a fully resistant population of bacteria to that antibiotic. The more you expose a population of bacteria to this antibiotic, the more you're creating artificial evolution. You're putting up selection pressure onto the system of organisms, and you're selecting for the ones that are like, F you to the antibiotic. And so the more you take antibiotics, the more you create resistant organisms. It's like a really ungood cycle, which is why giving it to farm animals, giving it to this, it's a recipe for resistant organisms, which we're now seeing. There are some bacteria that we can barely treat anymore. It's really, truly terrifying, and antibiotic research isn't as lucrative for big pharma, so getting new drugs to market to actually start to fight this escalating arms race with the bacteria is getting increasingly tricky. So don't do that.
Okay, now explain it to me like I'm 5.
If you take the medicine all the time, the little germs, they start to like it.
Okay.
They're like, you know what? It's like giving a baby a bunch of broccoli. At first he's like, no broccoli, it's broccoli bad. And then pretty soon he's like, broccoli. And pretty soon he's getting ripped from the broccoli and punching you in the nuts.
Okay, now explain it to me like I'm 3.
It's germ, binky, boom.
Is that how you talk to 3-year-olds?
That's exactly how I talk to 3-year-olds, Tom Heineberg.
Hey, 3-year-old. I want to ask you, as a real doctor. You are a real doctor, right?
I have a stethoscope, don't I?
Do you have some sort of a card you can show me?
I do. It's
Anyway,
I didn't.
I'm gonna take your word
me.
on it. I'm gonna take your word on it. What's the strangest thing that you've ever seen somebody put in their butt?
The strangest thing anyone's put in their butt, it would be a dildo, but wrapped in foil, and the dildo was turned on, which means that on the X-ray, we saw something that was physically impossible because there was no way this dildo, like how could this have gotten in the rectum? It's this huge thing. There's no way he could have put it in his butt. He must have swallowed it and it got stuck like a wedge coming out because it looked like this. But no, we got fooled. And that's the thing. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. X-rays are all shadows, right? So you're basically seeing the shadows of X-rays. And if the dildo's going, heron, 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 all you see is a big white wedge in the crack. And that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a butthole. And that's not even weird. I mean, it gets weirder, but this was weird for me.
I've seen a lot of dildos and butts on the internet. I was hoping for something weird.
Yeah, but the X-ray though, that was weird. It was weird to doctors, maybe muggle. I mean, I've seen crazy stuff. An entire shattered Coke bottle. So the thing had broken because the sphincter tone was so high. And it was just, I'd like to buy the world a Coke and just explode.
That's a bad image.
I'm just telling you the truth, Tom Heineberg.
You know, I didn't know those polar bears shoved those bottles up there. I didn't know, you always see them drink the bottle, but you don't know what they do with it at the end when it's empty. You don't know how they recycle it.
It's true, because in Antarctica, there aren't really like blue bins and black bins. It's just up the butt. And that's why we are in an ecological crisis right now. It's those polar bears that everyone wants to save. I'm like, you know what? They're the problem.
I agree. Everybody has a nutritional religion that they subscribe to, right? It's like, you talk to people and they're like, well, first of all, I'm vegan. And then you talk to another guy, he's like, I'm a fucking carnivore, bro. Okay, I eat like a fucking lion. You ever seen a lion? That's how I fucking eat. All right? So I'm saying, who's right?
Who's right?
Who's right?
Yeah, it's like
I view them all as the religions.
Look at religion. Who's right? Was Buddha right? Was Jesus right? Was Muhammad right? Here's the thing. They all point to some truth. Just like all nutritional approaches point to some truth, whether they're eliminating a piece of diet and that helps people, whether it's dropping calories, whether it's fasting, they all have an aspect of truth. What's the truth? It depends on who you are. What's gonna work with your genetics and your behavioral tendencies. Look, if you like meat, it's gonna be hella hard for you to become a vegan, bro, without punching someone in the face. Probably another vegan, because they're pussies.
I have a theory that all roads lead to satiety. So anything that makes you feel satiated is going to be an effective diet for you.
And that's a big word, Tom Heineberg.
Yeah.
And
it means when your tummy full.
Now who's talking to 3-year-olds? Yeah, satiety is the final common answer because keto works for a lot of people because you're eating a ton of fat, which makes you feel full.
Yeah.
Vegan actually works for some people because they fill themselves with high fiber, low calorie foods that aren't very nutrient dense. So you can just fill up and feel full. For me, I find intermittent fasting, once I get in the pattern of it, for my particular physiology, I'm not hungry until dinner, so I can eat one meal.
You're getting full because you're having a big meal.
Then you're having a big meal and you're full. So you got to find that particular religious path that leads you to enlightenment. And
to satiety. I fucking fix this shit.
I found satiety and it is me.
Satiety does sound like a Hindu god.
It does, doesn't it?
We pray to satiety. I can't do the Indian voice, it's racist, but I'm gonna do it anyway. We pray to satiety,
The god of satiety is Vishnu Krishna Matatfortipu, and it's a chicken. A chicken with an extra big dingleberry on the top.
So people should just eat what makes them feel full.
Eat what makes you feel full. And
but it has to be healthy. It has to be like whole food, something healthy.
See, that's the thing.
Because you can't eat M&Ms until you're full.
There are very few people who can eat a high processed food, standard American diet and do okay.
Right.
Some of those are children. They actually do okay for a while. But as you get older, it's very hard to eat that diet without feeling like shit, getting fat, and probably dying of like heart disease, diabetes, AIDS. AIDS. I mean, that's what little known. Go to McDonald's enough. Supersize me, Morgan Spurlock, dead of AIDS at 35. Many people don't know that.
He's still alive. Next topic, AIDS. Tell me about AIDS. Have we cured it?
No.
I never hear people be like, I have AIDS.
Yeah, because it's happening. People are actually still getting infected. Many people are undiagnosed.
I'm talking about here in America where it counts.
Yeah, we're talking about.
Okay.
We're talking about here in America where it counts, Tom Heineberg. There people are still getting infected, dying, having to undergo expensive drug regimens, and it's fully preventable. And in fact, there's something called PrEP, this pre-exposure prophylaxis for HIV.
I'm getting back on PrEP so I can do gay sex.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it because I saw the pictures on your phone, and I was like, is Tom getting ready to get back on the gay sex thing?
Yeah.
Because you were off it for a while.
Well, if you do PrEP, you can have dudes pound you in the butt.
Now this is the thing. Anal sex in high-risk environments is still high risk even with PrEP, but it's lower risk than without it. And
well,
the thing
this
is
the thing that I hear from gay friends, that they get on PrEP so that they can basically have unprotected sex. They think it's like a panacea.
And I'll tell you why that's a terrible idea, because you can still get syphilis, you can still get herpes, you can still get HIV, and that can progress to AIDS untreated, or sometimes even treated, depending on what's going on. And so this
How come all the boner diseases used to be fixed with penicillin and now they're not?
Oh.
Did you guys fuck this up? Did modern medicine fuck this up?
Do you remember when we talked about antibiotics and how they work?
Yeah.
That's why. Because now we have to use antibiotics for all the boner diseases, as you call them. And the little bacteria are like, I'll eat a dick whether it's got penicillin in it or not. I don't care. Eat a dick, suck a dick, save a dick. I'm willing.
Man, these boner diseases are getting crazy. Hey, why do they call the boner diseases STIs now?
Because they're trying to soften the fact that they're sexually transmitted diseases, which implies some causality on a moral decision on the point of the person making it. Oh, well, it's not a disease, it's an infection, because disease implies illness, which it is. It's, they're sexually transmitted infections, which is what they are. Disease is you know what? I don't fucking know, Tom. Just call it what you want. The truth is, don't get it, because it sucks to have dick rot, which is the technical term.
Oof.
And hooch rot, because we don't want to be sexist. It's not just your dick that falls off. Your hoochie parts can get all flappy. You don't want that either.
This makes me feel bad.
You know what? I went to UCSF for medical school and Stanford for residency. And now I talk about the flappy hoochie bits. And you know what? It works for me, and it'll work for you too.
Hey.
Don't judge.
I'm sitting next to a guy who went to medical school for real, so that basically makes me a real life doctor. Think about it.
YouTube, do you love us or not? If you love us, you better subscribe. And there's a little dingleberry bell. You click that and it turns on the notifications. So the next time me and Tom do something, you get a little email that's like, Tom and Z are doing something. And you go, delete. At least you have that choice.
Let me teach you about how to do YouTube, Z. First of all, you gotta hit him with a sponsor. You gotta be like, hey, today we're sponsored by Yeetie McThickskins. CBD infused Fortnite skins on the blockchain. A lot of people said that Yeetie McThickskins would never be able to CBD infuse digital assets, but it turns out that they can. Get yours wherever the fuck CBD is sold, which seems to be everywhere nowadays.
And you know what? Listen, I don't endorse products that I don't use myself. When I'm playing Fortnite on the blockchain, I use Yeetie McThickskins CBD infused Fortnite skins. And I'll tell you why. Look,
you can take that to the bank.
To a couple banks. And look, listen.
Or to the digital wallet
I know
provider.
you're inclined to hit skip right now about the sponsorship, because you're like, Z, listen, I've heard every commercial. You haven't heard this one. You're playing Fortnite. What's going to protect you better than CBD-infused Fortnite skins that are cryptocurrency ready? So in other words, not only do you have a ledger of everything that's happened, it's unhackable without quantum computing, which we all know is bullshit. And on top of that, okay, all capitalism unchecked leads to slavery. Therefore,
that's the wokest thing I ever heard a bald guy say.
And he's watched Vin Diesel.
That's right.